Good evening, everyone. Welcome on this chilly night to DCSD Parent University. If you're just joining us, if you would like to fully participate in tonight's webinar, I invite you to head to slido.com and enter in the code DCSD-PSR, or you can scan this QR code. This will enable you to participate in the Q&A later on with our presenters. And you will also be able to participate in live polls. This is completely optional, but I invite you to do it anyway. So welcome to DCSD Parent University. My name is Stacy, and I work for the Communications Department for the Douglas County School District. And with the help of our partner, Skyridge Medical Center, this program aims to provide monthly webinars that are engaging, relevant, and helpful to DCSD parents. And tonight, we're all talking about post-secondary readiness, how students can prepare for life after high school. Now, before we really dig into that, I want to know how are you guys feeling about this? So I want you to just write down the first thing that comes to your head. And this is through Slido. So slido.com, DCSD-PSR. When I think about preparing my student for life after high school, I feel I'll just take a moment to get everybody connected here. I know for me, it feels very overwhelming because there's so many more things for post-secondary readiness than when I was in high school. And I'm just pleased as punch to have some guys with us here this morning. So I'm seeing from the screen here that a lot of people are excited, a little bit overwhelmed, a little bit overlost. I'm right there with you. Well, I'm glad that some of us are really looking forward to this process, basically. So the post-secondary readiness program prepares students for what is next, whether it be career, college, military, advanced training, or continued education. And tonight, I'm excited to introduce our post-secondary readiness team. They'll be going over the different pathways in PSR, and how those pathways can help students make informed decisions about their future, develop necessary skills, and potentially save time and money. And as you are watching this webinar, please keep in mind you'll receive a link to a recording of this, so you will have this available for future reference. And without further ado, I'm going to hand this off to the post-secondary readiness team. Amy, I'm afraid you're on mute, hon.
Thank you.
Yep.
Glitch, getting it all worked out. So good evening, everyone, and welcome parents. We're so excited for the opportunity to talk about post-secondary readiness programming and really how our team, our department, and our programs can support students in making decisions about their future and finding pathways that speak to them. There we go. So I'd like to introduce our team. As post-secondary readiness department, we have a specialist for career and technical education. That's Krista Tongren, and she's going to talk about CTE here shortly. We also have Matt Chambliss, who is specialist for concurrent enrollment, and he's going to talk about that program area. And we have Kathy Fromer, who is our specialist for work-based learning. And Kathy will be joining us to talk about the options under work-based learning. Our department also has an accounting specialist who really helps us with all the processes and all the high school pieces, which is Christy Husby, and I'm the coordinator for post-secondary readiness department. So what is post-secondary readiness programming? It's a mouthful, and it kind of feels like this big, intimidating thing. Really, it's just pathway-based programming. And it's about creating opportunities for students that help them develop skills and really participate in meaningful experiences. And these experiences are designed to give them the opportunity to make informed decisions about their future. So whether that is advanced training ahead of for them, career, military, continued education through college, 2-year, 4-year, really all paths are relevant, and our programming kind of ties in and integrates with all of those. So we have 24 different pathways offered across the district through career and technical education. We have concurrent enrollment offered through ACC, Red Rocks. We have dual enrollment through CSU Pueblo and MSU. There's more partners coming on board. And then work-based learning is really exposure to those career industry options through firsthand experiences. We categorize it as learning about work, learning through work, and learning at work. And Kathy Fromer will give you some more specifics about that. So I'm going to turn it over to my team and let them talk about each of the program areas and how they can really help students find that passion and purpose for where they want to go in the future. So Krista?
Hi, welcome. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Krista Tongren, the Career and Technical Education Specialist for Douglas County, or CTE for short. Today, more than ever, employees want to hire entry-level employees who can hit the ground running. So this is really where career and technical education comes in. CTE is a broad term for education that combines academic and technical skills with knowledge and training that are needed to succeed in today's labor market. What CTE does is it really prepares students for the world of work by introducing them to the workplace skills in a real world environment for a seamless transition into further education or employment. So what it does is it better prepares students to meet the needs and the challenges of today's workforce. What's really interesting about CTE classes is that they allow for students to achieve what we call industry rated certifications. And certifications are essentially certifications that make them employable directly out of high school. So they're job ready day one. Industry certifications tell employers that candidates have demonstrated certain levels of knowledge and skills by passing an aligned industry test. Certifications can be gained in almost every career field that we offer in Douglas County. For example, students who are interested in the culinary arts or a food industry career can obtain a certification that shows their knowledge of food safety, handling, OSHA precautions, and other skills like that. Whereas students who are pursuing a computer science position can obtain different certifications in programming languages such as Adobe and SolidWorks. Next. So what we're looking at here is a whole bunch of different classes that we offer in Douglas County. You can see where the career and technical education classes that we have really prepare the workforce across a wide range of industries and occupations. One of the quotes that I really like on this slide was where it talks about how CTE prepares the workforce. And then it talks about how down here at the bottom, $10,000 more per year that they're eligible to earn with associate's degrees that they can earn in high school, which is something that I think is pretty interesting. The next slide that I'm going to show here really just showcases a lot of what we call kids in action in Douglas County. You can see a variety of different programs that we offer. Some of them were listed on the previous slide: career, criminal justice, fire science, welding, transportation, auto, just to name a few. CTE programming is offered throughout the district. We offer a lot of different access points to ensure that high school students have different quality programs that they can access throughout our district. Career tech ed classes emphasize core content, technical skills. CTE programs are taught by Douglas County district teachers who have received state credentialing in their respective discipline and programming. And they have occupational and industry service hours, which make them effective teachers in that particular discipline. CTE programs can be accessed at your student's high school, throughout other neighborhood schools located in Douglas County. So there's really a lot of variety and a lot of options available to students within Douglas County. As part of every career and technical education program, we have something called a CTSO, which stands for a Career and Technical Student Organization. These are organizations that are ran by the students for the students. So technical organizations help students build leadership skills, they promote positive work ethic, good work values, and then really they just reinforce the CTE curriculum. Most of you have probably heard of some of these, if not all of these, but we are operating all of these within Douglas County to some extent. We have 10 student organizations that we're currently operating. And then the last slide here is what we call the Colorado Career and Cluster Model. As you can see here, Colorado has programs that are divided into 6 industry sectors labeled by color. So CTE doesn't replace academic learning. It really complements it or enhances it, and it just makes their high school experience more exciting and more valuable. It links programming education, aligns curriculum with industry standards. It provides hands-on work-based learning experiences that enable students to apply their skills. In addition to all of these great features that I've already talked about, CTE programs can offer what we call a dual credit, which helps get students a head start on their programming, their post-secondary education, by earning high school credit and college credit at the same time, which is a nice segue into our next speaker, who's going to talk about concurrent enrollment.
Thank you, Krista. I'm Matt Chambliss, the Concurrent Enrollment Specialist for Douglas County School District. And concurrent enrollment allows our high school students to earn college credit and credit towards a high school diploma at the same time. So we have 7 different pathways that we focus on in concurrent enrollment. We have arts, communication and design, business, global human and social sciences, health, math and sciences, public services, and technology. Next slide, please. So we have a number of people that need to collaborate in order to make concurrent enrollment happen. So on our Douglas County side, we have counselors, teachers, students, administrators, and specialists. We all have to work together in order to make this process work well. And those that were just listed collaborate with ACC and our other post-secondary partners. So there's a lot of moving parts. We have to get everybody on the same schedule. And we're trying to create an efficient and effective process for all of our students so that we can provide the most concurrent enrollment opportunity for our high school students. So the high school instructors, they use college level curriculum, and they also work to ensure the success of their students. So they're looking at the same points that ACC and their professors are looking at, but because they're high school instructors, they're very good at helping our students be successful in the courses. So really it's the best of both worlds, getting a college professor that also understands high school students very well. Here's a number of our popular classes in Douglas County School District. The first one is Introduction to Business, or BUS 115. We have this option at all 9 of our high schools. We also have English Composition, or ENG 121, Introduction to Literature, Principles of Marketing, and College Algebra. So as you're looking at this chart here, those that are listed are some of those taller data points. There are actually 123 different concurrent enrollment courses offered in Douglas County School District. And 39% of our concurrent enrollment courses are also CTE. So we have concurrent enrollment, which helps some of our career and technical education courses. It adds rigor, it's relevant, but our department works together. So we have CE, but within that, 40% almost are also CTE courses, and we have work-based learning as well. So the entire post-secondary readiness department works together in this process. For the school year 2020-2021, we had 6,179 Douglas County School District high school students that earned 19,631 college credits through concurrent enrollment. And this is the part that is great for our Douglas County School District parents. We saved families $3,122,421.18 with our concurrent enrollment for that year. So like we said, we have 7 pathways through ACC. We also work with Red Rocks Community College. There are 4 CE courses taught through Red Rocks Community College. and we have 258 sections with ACC. So ACC is our primary partner, and we have most of our courses that go through them. But if they have some options that are not available, we're able to connect with some other post-secondary partners. One of the best parts about concurrent enrollment is that tuition costs are paid by Douglas County School District. So that's not a cost that the family will incur. So it's a great way to get a student to reduce the cost of college. And a lot of times, because they're working with high school instructors, they gain confidence in a college course. And some students that would not feel confident going into college, now that they have some of this concurrent enrollment experience, they go in feeling much more confident as they head to that next level of education. While Douglas County does pay for tuition costs, there are times where students are responsible for fees, textbooks, and supplies. Usually the fees are $30, $35, or $40. Depending on the course, they may require a textbook. Sometimes it's digital, sometimes it's actual hard copy. So if you're interested in this excellent opportunity for your student, please have them talk to their counselor about the CE opportunities that are available first at their home school, across our district, and at ACC. So the concurrent enrollment courses are posted on each high school's website under a concurrent enrollment tab, or in some cases you have to go in and look at the academic planning guides, but they're listed for each high school on their website. So now I'm going to turn it over to Kathy Fromer, our work-based learning specialist.
All right, thank you, Matt, and good evening, everyone. I'm excited to tell you a little bit more about work-based learning. This work-based learning opportunities that exist are really extensions of our CTE career pathways and programming. It's kind of the final tier within a CTE program and like the icing on the cake. So examples of work-based learning that also award students with school credit include career pathway internships, part-time jobs, extracurricular projects, and school-based entrepreneurship ventures, just to name a few. So providing students with these real-world experiences help them to make informed decisions about their career future. Additionally, the networking that occurs during these types of experiences can help the students later with letters of recommendation and long-term career placement. Next slide. Here are just some samples of companies that I work with, that we partner with. Internships on the left and credit for work on the right. This is literally just a very small sample. We have hundreds of community members that work with us to help mentor our students. So the mentors within our internship sites are vetted, and they go through a fingerprint background check. So they're endorsed by Douglas County School District, and that's kind of where I get involved, and I work with your student to help place them with a mentor in their career pathway. So we are always looking for new mentors. So if you have a business and would like to serve as a mentor, please feel free to email me. I appreciate that. Part-time positions, examples are there on the right. In the community, give students the chance to earn school credit and a wage, and they're readily available. Again, these are experiences that are an extension of our career pathway programming. So what we like to do is to make sure that we get students involved in a part-time job that complements what they're learning in their CTE program. It just really makes the learning so much more valuable. All right, next slide. So you might be asking, how can I get my student to take advantage of these work-based learning opportunities? So my best recommendation would be, as soon as they're in high school, your child should take some CTE courses that interest them. And then if they find one that they really like, they can continue on in that career pathway programming. I just feel that, and I'm sure my colleagues here feel that a strong educational plan includes a career plan, and that would include CTE courses to help students find their passion and relevance in their education. And then finally, in their senior year, that would occur in their junior year registration, they would sign up for CTE internship or CTE credit for work. And that's kind of where I get involved, and I get the opportunity and pleasure of working with your student to help place them in an internship, or perhaps point them in the right direction for a credit for work. Your counselor, your student's counselor and CTE teachers can also assist them in adding work-based learning to their schedule. So expanding their network through work-based learning will introduce your student to key people in their life that, as I mentioned above, might write them letters of recommendation. They connect them with scholarships. They provide them job leads within their career pathway. It's just a really great experience for them. And I think most importantly, it's kind of that light bulb moment for many of them that occurs because they start to see where their personal traits complement a particular career pathway, or they see the value in their academics and how it will help them succeed in their career pathway. So I just, love work-based learning. And I think that students are really more prepared and definitely post-secondary ready when they include work-based learning into their programming. So I think I'm turning it back over to Amy at this point, but if you have any questions, always feel free to reach out to me. Have a great night.
Well, I just want to say thank you, everyone, to everyone on the team for kind of discussing their program areas. And we're really excited about the opportunities that we have for students and how this can really help them make informed decisions about their future and what pathway fits best for them. So as you heard from many of the specialists, really kind of that starting point is talking to your counselors, talking to teachers who maybe teach those courses that you're interested in. We support all 9 high schools plus our alternative campuses in really supporting the programming and making all of this work and opening access for students. So please reach out to us with questions, but school counselors have your first line of information for students to help them find their way. So I guess we have time for questions.
We certainly do. Thanks, Amy. Thank you, Kathy, Krista, and Matt. I'm going to pop into share my screen here. Just like we did with the opening poll, we will be using Slido to do the Q&A, and we can go through questions and answers together. So if you haven't already, please head to slido.com and enter the code on the screen, DCSD-PSR. If you want to go through a mobile route, you can scan the QR code and that will get to you as well. And we already have a question waiting for us. When can a student sign up for a CTE class that is offered at a neighboring high school?
So that is a great question. Actually, that process is kind of happening right now. So many of our high schools have gone through registration and students have selected their courses for next year. And if they're interested in a CTE program or pathway that's available at another high school, they get with their high school counselor, and then they have an application that they're going to fill out to really indicate that interest and kind of help. The counselor will help them walk through that process. Counselors are key in scheduling and really making those opportunities possible.
Right. And we did have a question come into the chat here. How do you help a 15 or 16-year-old know what they want to do for a career?
Well, that is a
great. That's a big question.
I think that getting access to programs is key. And I'm going to kind of let some of my team members jump into this as well, because Krista Tongren has been a CTE teacher. Matt has also been, and so is Kathy. And so I think they kind of have that on the ground experience, but giving kids exposure, I think, is the first piece. So
I would absolutely agree with that. I think programs like this are what get kids involved and get them that exposure to a potential career. If I had access to these kind of things when I was in high school, my career may have gone in a different direction. That's the beauty of these kind of career and tech programs, is there's such a wide variety in Douglas County that the kids can really experience all different levels of all different careers. And so I think that's what gets them interested is the opportunities that they have within our district to experiment with different classes and just see kind of what their interest level might be in pursuing this in their future. Military. Okay.
Kathy, Matt, did you have anything to add to that?
Well, I would just say, they don't know what they don't know. And until they get into one of the CTE programs, they might not realize that a particular personality trait is actually a really strong and important trait within that career pathway. For example, I had a student that was quite a talker, and he always got in trouble. And suddenly he was in marketing, and he realized that, marketing is a place where you need to be comfortable with speaking with people and talking. And he loved it, and he went on to be very successful in marketing. So, until they get into these CTE programs, they're really not too sure what their passion is. And so we have to offer them some opportunities to discover that. And that's what CTE programs do for students.
I agree with Krista and Kathy. I think one of the advantages about the CTE programs is the CTSO opportunity. So like DECA, for example, when kids get into a situation that is simulating something they might do in work, the light bulb goes on for them. Sometimes it's, yes, I want to pursue this kind of career. And then just as valuable, it's no, this really is not in my skill set. I'm not talented in this area. So as my colleague said, getting that experience and just going for it.
All right, we do have someone wondering, what are the military options in PSR?
So I will say that we kind of look at post-secondary readiness as preparing them with skills and soft skills, not only just, employability skills that they've learned in their program, but also the soft skills like Kathy mentioned and Matt mentioned, to kind of build them up and prepare them for what's ahead. We do not have like an ROTC or JROTC program in our district at this time. So really when we connect to military, we're kind of setting them up for skills that might prepare them to take those paths.
All right, and it seems like our the three questions we have on the screen here are specific to like either trying to get information from counselors or like trying to get information on specific classes. Taking a look at the three up there, what do you guys advise in these situations?
Well, I would say, obviously you can reach out to our office for help. As I mentioned, each of the specialists have their program areas that they're going to be able to support with. We recommend going to the counselor first, just because they can really evaluate a student's transcript, their credits, what their schedule is going to look like, things like that. So we don't have as much detail in that area. We can support and help, but we're also supporting all high schools. So if you're not able to get information from a counselor, please reach out to us, but make sure that, your student's going to engage with that counselor and kind of have those conversations, because they're really supporting them on all fronts. Social emotional learning, those career conversations. They also are going to help them navigate through Naviance, which helps students identify their interest profiles and maybe what are some career interests. So, but we are available to help as well. I don't know if anybody else wanted to comment or.
And I'm happy to include your email addresses in the follow-up email that I send out. Is there any other information I need to include as far as like what type of central help folks can get?
Well, if they kind of look at our specific specialist titles, I think, if you have concurrent enrollment questions, Matt would be your person to kind of point of contact. Krista would take on that career and technical education piece. And again, sometimes there's some overlap with CTE and CE. So kind of how that fits in. And then Kathy would, as she mentioned, she works with students on Workpiece Learning, and that fits in with that career and technical education pathway and program, and really kind of becomes that extension. So the college algebra question.
Yes.
Sorry, I just thought, yeah. I would say that it would probably kind of depend on, we might need more information. That might be a good email question for us as to, I think there was a school listed previously, but I didn't see.
The question was, my student attends Rock Canyon and was told that college algebra was not available. Is it possible to take this course at another high school?
Well, we can definitely look at what options are available. And kind of through our concurrent enrollment, we do have a process. I don't know that would fall necessarily, how that would fall into that school's schedule, but We try to look at what's available at the home school first, and then look at opportunities to outside that school. So Matt, I don't know if you had anything you wanted to mention on that.
Sorry, I couldn't find the unmute button. There it is. Yes, I think that's the key. Like Amy said, connecting with the school about, you know, what is their path? What are they looking to accomplish? And if it is, in fact, that college algebra class, if it's not available at Rock Canyon, looking at the schools that are closest to your location just for convenience, and then the availability as well.
And I was also going to mention, I think I saw a question pop up earlier, something about if CTE programs at other high schools are not available until the junior year. That is currently the process that we've had in place and a part of our CTE application. And one reason is for transportation, obviously, because there's a commitment that students are traveling to another high school. And typically junior year is when students are able to drive and have also some opportunities in their schedule to open up. So there's kind of a reason behind that. We hope to maybe explore if we can open up to other students of, you know, younger students to be able to access, but currently that is the application in place. And again, it kind of falls in with transportation responsibility and scheduling and how that fits for students.
But just to clarify, Amy, those are only for programs that are off campus, not
Correct.
the CTE programs that exist on their students' home campus.
Yes, thank you for that clarification. Yes, that's
Okay.
traveling to another high school for a program not offered. Obviously, CTE is open for freshmen to seniors all the way through. And actually, we previously had some middle school programs. We're hoping to, you know, make that maybe a possibility in the future. It just takes a little bit more alignment. So.
Is there a complete list of internships and credit for work opportunities?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and take that one. So there are businesses in the community that host interns on a regular basis. However, most of our internships are very customized to what the student needs and what their career pathway, what they're looking for. So, you know, like I said, I do have several where they, you know, many of those logos I flashed up where they repeatedly take on our students as an intern. But most of the time, you know, I visit with the student about what they would like to do, and then I reach out or I go to my database of people that have worked with us and see if they're willing to mentor a student in an internship. As far as credit for work, you know, we are in a hiring shortage. You know, there's more jobs to go around than students. And so, you know, basically the students have job boards on their school campus, and they can go to those. And any of them that I discover, I put those notices on those job boards. But it's really up to the student to reach out to the businesses that are hiring to access that part-time job. They can always visit with me to talk to me about tips and tricks to get the particular job that they want at some of these places. But the credit for work is really falls on the burden of the student to get that and secure that. I hope that answers your question.
And we still have time to answer other questions if something's on your mind. Let's see, one moment. I have someone raise their hand. Let's see. Lisa, are you able to share in the chat or share on Slido your question? Thanks for your patience, folks. This is what we get when you do platform integration. I guess I'll circle back around to our presenters. Oh, Lisa is asking if this is being recorded. Yes, this webinar is being recorded, and you will receive a link to the recording sometime tomorrow. And I'll make sure to include the contact information of our presenters here, as well as any other information that they can provide us. I'm going to leave it for just a couple of minutes just to see if anyone else has a question for us. Ooh, sorry, I am having slide issues today. Wow.
Stacy, we're just glad it's you.
So I guess I'll ask our presenters, do you have any closing remarks for tonight?
I'll turn to the specialist first, and then we can, if anybody wants to reiterate anything, and then we'll go from there.
Well, I guess I'll go. I'm just really excited about all the different opportunities that we offer in Douglas County. And I think, the future is so bright here that we just have so many different things and up and coming programs that we're looking at getting in the district and that kind of stuff. So I'm just really excited about being able to offer kids opportunities to kind of expose them to different career fields, career paths, new passions, if that's something that, they want to explore, and that kind of thing. So I'm happy to help you guys out in whatever way you need. Feel free to contact me via email if you have specific questions about career tech ed. But yeah, I'm here for you guys. So nice to meet you all virtually.
Yes, I agree. I think with concurrent enrollment, we just want to give our students an advantage as they go forward into their career. And if they can get a head start on some of their college courses and to be able to save and not go into a ton of debt as they get their college degree, it's something we're really passionate about and get really excited about helping students out towards their future.
Well, and I guess I would say that, book smarts is just not enough. To be competitive and have that competitive edge, that applied learning, the experience, having internships and those types of experiences on a resume are really can make the difference between getting that scholarship or getting that job or maybe just doing better in their next level of education. So I would just highly recommend work-based learning and definitely taking career and technical education courses to learn what they would really like to do for the future.
All right, so I will wrap up and just say, obviously, we're passionate about what we do, and really meaningful opportunities for students is at the heart of everything that we're trying to accomplish. We want students to really find the path that speaks to them and that is the right fit for them. There's not just one path after high school. There's not just one way to pursue life beyond graduating or finishing up high school. So we really want to help students find the right fit for them and then give them skills and tools and opportunities to really be successful, because the definition of success, we have yet really to decide what does that mean for our graduates. It means many things. So we need many opportunities that are available, and we just really want to support the programming that opens up those opportunities for students and lets them go down the path that fits. So thank you guys for joining us tonight. And we're so excited to talk about what we do, and we look forward to helping all the students in our district.
Yes, and thank you all four of you for giving us your time and expertise tonight. I just want to remind everybody that a recording of this will be made available to you tomorrow, as well as contact information for our presenters. We do have a couple more webinars scheduled for this school year in March and April. We'll be releasing more information on that soon. And if you got something from this webinar, if you learned something and you're still over in Slido, I'd appreciate if you just hopped over to the feedback survey and let us know how we're doing. We want to keep this program growing and thriving, and we want to make sure that we're getting the best material and the right material out to parents to make your life and everyone's lives a little bit easier. Once again, thanks so much for joining us. I hope everyone stays warm, and we'll see you next time.